Vault Hunters, Frames, and Guardians, we are a little over halfway through October, and we are now doing our updated best weapons to go after and farm for inside of Borderlands 4. I know there's a patch coming, hopefully buffing up some of those auto rifles, but if that patch really does change out the sandbox, we can always make another updated one for November. So we are here starting off with just legendaries, just letting y'all know. First up, I got one of my favorite auto rifles in the game, the Wombo Combo. This is actually one of the few good auto rifles in the game legendary wise, as this is a weapon that is going to be shooting those rockets from the barrel as you're shooting it, and the higher your rate of fire, more often those rockets are going to be coming out, giving heavy ogre vibes. If you guys like that weapon from Borderlands 3, this is a weapon that I really do enjoy using on just about any character I'm on. And it's a pretty simple weapon with not too much setup required for it to be good. Honestly, just give it as much rate of fire as you can. And this thing is going to serve you just right, especially if you have any splash damage bonuses inside of your setup. If you would like to farm this juicy weapon. It's kind of sleeper, like my favorite weapon in the game still. It's going to be the low grunts over in the Slaw Clinch Ripper drill site in the ruined swampland of the Katagawa burn. Now stay with me here. We're going to stay from one splash weapon to another splash weapon. This one is still here just because it's super easy to go after and target farm with a little bit of RNG to make it juicy. Looking at you, my Kaoson. Still do not have my Phosphine Kaoson yet, but don't worry, Origo, the boss that you farm this from, he's gonna get the works. I'm gonna bully him until I get my Phosphine Kaoson. This is a Vladoff SMG, formerly a Doll SMG inside of Borderlands 3. In this game, it's a Vladoff that is guaranteed to roll with Toric stickies, and it's always going to shoot 2 Toric stickies per pull of the trigger, basically making it an absolute menace on any build in which you have long stretch where you just don't have to reload your magazine and you have really high fire rate. One of the first weapons I fell in love with inside of this game because it's just that dang strong. It was so good in Borderlands 3, it's amazing in Borderlands 4. It gets its representation. Obviously you got to hit up Origo, the vault boss inside of the Terminus range, and who knows, maybe he'll drop you a nice juicy Kaoson for your troubles with that Phosphine camo. I'm still waiting. So we have a new addition to the list, unlike we had for the first time we did this video. We have the Katagawa's Revenge, the shock version of it. Okay, it's a sniper rifle Malawan that is going to drop in both shock and fire every single time, but between those elements it's going to behave very much so differently. The shock one is what you actually want. When you shoot it, whenever it hits a target or anything, it's going to spawn, I think, at least 3 of these little electric drones, and these drones are going to all converge on a target. Granted, they don't move, so if the target is like really agile, they can move out of the way of these drones. But if you just get a nice window on the right build, this weapon will fry. All of those can proc their own crits. Bloodletter procs for any siren build. You can go pretty hard on a Harlow Green Tree build. This weapon just has a lot of flexibility. It's very unique, and it does kick some ass. If you would like to farm for the Katagawa's Revenge sniper rifle, my man, to drill a hole in the Katagawa burn of the Queen's Cradle. This was recently a big encore boss. I would imagine some of you guys have your Phosphine variants, but one thing that I do want to mention about this bad boy, you do want to get Jacob's license accessory Jala, as all of those drones can crit and make their own ricochets with the Jacob's license accessory. Very nutty. Now this is one that it was here last time and it's still here for good reason. I'll make it brief. It's the Hot Slugger. You farm it from the Harbinger of Death, the Craven's Nook Order Bunker, and the Terminus range, pretty close to the heart of the mountain. Fast travel site with the dummies. Bones of Sanctuary. Y'all know where the fast travel is. It's really close to the Bones of Sanctuary, and this is probably one of the first weapons the community really agreed on and enjoyed using, as because it's just a really hard hitting weapon. Its projectiles counts as indirect projectiles, so it's really good on Rafa setup, especially in that red tree. And it is it's probably one of the best mobbing weapons around, just because you're blanking at enemies and just one-shotting any of them, and it's a Jacob's weapon, so it's always going to ricochet on crits. You don't have to farm for that. It's just a Jacob's manufactured weapon, and this weapon doesn't require much RNG whatsoever to get a good roll. There's no licensed accessory parts that this weapon has access to, so you just really need it to drop and you're kind of done. Who would have thought a Jacob's weapon being dominant inside of Borderlands 4? Yes sir, my man, you already know. But this shouldn't surprise you as to why it's here. It's just that darn good. However, this next shotgun, welcome my friend. I was hoping to talk about this the first time around, but I'm happy to talk about it now. We're looking at the Hellwalker. The Hellwalker recently got a 30% damage buff after they changed it from the kinetic back to the fire element like it should have been. Although when they initially changed it back to fire, they didn't up the damage to make up for it, because kinetics, remember, kinetic damage has no weakness. It's neutral. It's like the normal type of Borderlands. It's going to do the same amount of damage as it would to any other health bar on any Vault Hunter level. UVH M5 is going to be doing 100% to every single health bar. So when they changed it to fire, they didn't up the damage because it was just way worse, doing way less damage to, armored enemies and shielded enemies for that matter. Now it's really packing the heat. It feels really, really good, and it is nasty, nasty, nasty on Green Tree Harlow. This weapon inherently just has a very, very fast reload speed, very, very snappy, great handling, really strong, good damage, raw base, pretty easy to build into, and honestly, it's really nice to have the Hellwalker back in the saddle, kicking some major ass. If you would like to farm beautiful Hellwalker and maybe get yourself a phosphine one, the old scrape ripper drill site in the terminus range of the Cuspid Climb. Now, honestly, the fact that this weapon wasn't on the first list is kind of a miss by me, but that's why we like to do these updated videos at least once a month, because things are constantly changing, constantly moving, constantly being discovered, and this weapon is just so freaking good. Everyone knows it. It is the bod. Oh, good old bod. Axmal has been absolutely buried into the ground with how many people have been farming for a good bod. If you guys don't know, the bod is the weapon that counts as every single weapon type in the game, so it's getting bonuses from everywhere. It is a shotgun, but it is classified, counted as a sniper rifle, a pistol, assault rifle, and an SMG. So it's going to be a weapon that's going to get a lot of indirect buffs in the future. Any sort of passives you have on any of your gear that buffs a weapon of any sort, it would buff the bod. So it just gets a lot of bonuses from a lot of different places. As you can imagine, a weapon that counts as every sort of weapon type is going to be pretty darn good. I would recommend, if you can, get one with the Torg Stickies licensed accessory. That's one that I have, and it is so darn nasty on like Green Tree Harlow. And of course, yes, if you would like to farm for the bod, Axmal, the toil of spoiling this abandoned auger mine located over in the Dominion. It's pretty close to one of the fast travel points. I would say the bod is probably one of the weapons you should have on your higher priority in terms of getting a really good version of it, because it is so dang strong, and it'll be just really good in any sort of build because it doesn't require much setup at all. It's just a weapon that's so good, it's going to fit in a lot of builds and be very darn good for you. However, this next shotgun, dude, it's a shotgun season. I'm letting you know, shotguns in Borderlands 4 along with SMGs are just absolutely disgusting. This weapon next, while it does require a little bit more specking into building into its strengths, when you build into its strengths, I don't think there's a weapon that's more satisfying and more fun to use. We're talking about the Golden God. Yes, this COV shotgun is absolutely disgusting. It drops from Idolator Saw, of course, over in the Fates Fields and the Idolator's Noose. But what makes this weapon very, very unique is the fact that as a COV weapon, typically they overheat and their mags eventually break. This weapon, its mag never breaks, it just consumes more and more ammo. So why is it so good, and why is it in this video? It's in this video because at least the setup that I've found the most success with has been on Rafa, a mix of both blue and the red tree for that matter, in which you're able to have this gun essentially be shooting like a ACR. It's gonna have zero recoil, and while you're in overdrive, it's gonna have infinite ammo with some ammo regen specking, the duct tape COV enhancement that allows all COV weapons to guaranteed crit whenever they're overheating, top of all the fire rate bonuses with our Dancer class mod. This thing is just flat out spewing, and even though it requires more and more ammo to shoot once it overheats, you only technically need one to pull the trigger and it's still gonna shoot. So it's just a full auto infinite shooting shotgun that's treated like an assault rifle that just rips apart everything in the game without ever having to reload while guaranteed critting. Yes, we did our own video for this weapon. It's so good, I had to put it in this video. And if you want to see more on the Golden God specifically, I'll leave a link, a title, and an end screen to the Golden God video if you would like to see it a little bit more in depth. And for these next final two, I'll be honest, we'll go really quick with these two, because the Kickballer and the Rainbow Vomit, I feel like the Kickballer is just pure chaos. It's one of the best bossing weapons, probably you could argue the best bossing weapons, although it's going to knock you down a lot as well. Just saying, there's definitely safer options, but if you want a weapon to just cause utter chaos, make sure you get a Kickballer with the Jacob's License accessory. Same thing goes for the Golden God. Honestly, any weapon in this game that can roll a Jacob's License accessory part, you're 99 times out of 100 gonna want that to roll on your legendary. Just saying, for future references. Kickballer, by the way, can be farmed by Sludge Maw over in the Fates Fields and the Idolator's Noose, and the Rainbow Vomit has like 5 prerequisite side missions you have to complete before you can actually unlock the dedicated upgraded drop from the boss leader Willem. He's located in the Carcadia Burns grindstone of the Worthy, but there's like 5 prerequisites in terms of side quests that you have to complete before even unlocking that boss and able to farm a proper Rainbow Vomit. So being said, the Rainbow Vomit is a Jacob's weapon, a Jacob's shotgun that is just rolling in 3 elements every single time. So it's going to be doing more elemental damage just about any other weapon in the game because it's shooting a mixture of radiation, fire, shock, corrosive, and cryo. Any mix of those 3 with every single shot, it's going to be applying so many status effects. And if you have, any build that is focused into that whatsoever or elemental damage wise, dude, the Rainbow Vomit is just going to be so dang good and it's going to cook. Granted, I wouldn't say the Rainbow Vomit is it's not the best of the best in the game anymore, but it's still really darn disgusting just because it has so many elements and status effects going on for it that no other gun does. So it has its own niche, own unique role, and it's a Jacob shotgun, so it just naturally gets points for that as well. But there you go, my beautiful people. The Wombo Combo, Kaoson, Katagawa's Revenge, Hot Slugger, Hellwalker, Bod, Golden God, Kickballer, and the Rainbow Vomit. As of October 2025, I would say these are your main legendary weapons to go out and target farm for sooner rather than later. They are so darn good. And if you are a person who has none of these weapons and you don't know which one to start with, I would start off with the Bod and then go to the Wombo Combo. You can't go wrong with either of those 2 as a start, especially that Wombo Combo. Just a real good weapon with so much raw stopping power. It'll carry you through a lot. You guys so much for watching the video. Do please consider subscribing and or checking out the Twitch channel and the Mo channel. Links to those are in the top of the description. I love your beautiful faces. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.